Hello, my name is James Baroud, and on behalf of Fairleigh Dickinson University and the Silberman College of Business, welcome to today's Personal Finance program. As the head of the Rothman Institute, one of the nation's top entrepreneurship centers, I hope this program educates you on how to better manage your financial affairs so that you can be more successful in your future academic and professional careers. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Marnie Aznar, founder and head of Aznar Financial Advisors. As a leading financial advisor and planner, Marnie has been quoted in Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine, Smart Money magazine, and several other national publications. Marnie is also an FDU faculty member where she teaches finance for undergraduate and graduate courses. She also teaches the finance section of the Discover Business Teen Camp, our popular program which we hold here each summer. I give you Professor Aznar.
Good morning. Does that mean anything to you when you hear I'm a financial planner or a financial advisor? Does anyone have any idea what that means? I do every day with my clients. Yeah? Right, I help them understand what to do with their money, how to use it. And the kind of financial planning that I do involves a lot of other things. So I'm helping people with their budgeting and cash flow, so how much money they're spending. I'm helping them with their taxes. I'm helping them with planning for retirement, education funding for their kids, investments, as you said, employee benefits, figuring out how much they need to save, where the most appropriate place to save their money is. And before we get started, I just want you to know that I work with a lot of highly, highly intelligent, highly educated people who make a lot of money, some of them, but most of them never had any personal finance education. Okay, so they went through high school, many of them college, graduate degrees, and none of them ever learned the basics of personal finance. None of them even had exposure to personal finance through a session like this. And I truly believe that some of these people wouldn't have to be paying me to do the work that I'm doing if they had gotten some of this education that you're about to get right now. And most of you, do any of you have jobs where you get paid? A few of you, okay. So maybe 20% of you do. For those of you who don't yet, some of this is kind of early, but before you know it, you're going to be in college, you're going to be having part-time jobs, you're going to have some income, and even if you don't have income right now from a job, most of you have income either through an allowance or parents are giving you money or you're selling things on eBay, you've got money coming in somehow. So I truly believe that if you can pay attention and kind of process and understand the information that we're talking about over the next few hours, it will make a tremendous difference in your life. Personally, I went through high school, I got an undergraduate degree, I got a graduate degree, and I never learned anything about personal finance with the exception of what my father told me at home until I took the CFP program at FDU, which is a program you study to get the Certified Financial Planner designation. So I also had a lot of education and didn't know anything about personal finance until I did that. If you have goals that you want to achieve in your life, you have to have a core understanding of personal finance, of budgeting, of managing your money in order to actually achieve those, right? They're just not going to happen, unfortunately. And really the first most important step is to write down those goals. So the fact that you're here, that you've all got your piece of paper with your goals written down, that's a tremendous start. We're going to get into the details of that a little bit later. All right, well, if you open up the workbook and flip to page 9, they just talk about some statistics of how guys and girls typically, teenage guys and girls typically spend money. And food is at the top of the list for guys, but girls, you're supposed to be spending most of your money on clothes and candy, apparently. So does that surprise any of you, the percentages there? I mean, were most of you kind of on track with this? Guys spending money on food and soda, and girls clothes, candy, soda, food also. CDs, recorded music. We're going to start out today by talking a bit about, first of all, what is financial planning? Okay? Because you hear that term, but it doesn't necessarily mean very much until you kind of get into the definition of it. Basically, what financial planning is a process that helps create a roadmap for handling your money. Okay? 5 specific steps. Setting goals. You guys have all done that, so you have started the process. Then you're going to analyze the information. And basically, when you're talking about analyzing information, you're looking at your income, okay? And then you're looking at various expenses to figure out if you're going to be able to accomplish your goals. And obviously, if your expenses are more than your income, do you think you're going to be able to accomplish your goals? No. Right? If your goals have anything to do with money, you're not going to be able to accomplish them that way. Now, that seems very obvious and very basic, but most people are spending more than they're making. How's that possible? How can you spend more than you make? Yes? Credit cards. That's exactly right. And what happens when you start building up debt on a credit card? Interest. Right. Good. So that, I mean, just the fact that you understand that basic concept, that's really good. You know, and if you're putting money on credit card, you're charging items on credit cards, the interest is going to get higher and higher if you're not able to pay down that debt, okay? So once you've set your goals and analyzed the information, you want to create a plan. What's the goal and what do you need to do to accomplish that goal? And then you implement the plan, okay? And part of implementing the plan, it's actually really helpful to talk to other people about what you're planning on doing. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it helps to say, you know, I really want to save up for a car, and I'm going to buy the car in a year because I'm going to be able to accumulate $2,000 for a down payment. Do you think it helps for other people to know that you're doing this? Don't you think maybe you're going to be a little bit more pressured knowing, well, everyone thinks that I'm going to be doing this, I better actually do it? You build some accountability there. Okay? So if you really want to make sure that you've got that accountability, tell people about it. Write it down. Okay? And then you're going to monitor and modify the plan. So meaning after you start working towards it, you know what you want to achieve, you start saving the money that you know you need to save. A few months down the road, look at what you've saved and figure out, okay, am I on track? Do I need to save more? Do I need to save less? Is this still a goal I want to achieve? Okay? So back to the first step, which is defining your goals. Okay, it's really important to set what's called SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Can someone just give me an example of the goal they wrote down, and we can see if it's a SMART goal, meaning it fits all of those categories. Someone want to say, yes?
Going to a good college.
Going to a good college. Okay. That's a fantastic goal, and probably almost everyone in this room has the same goal. But we need to drill down. What does that mean? Okay, we've got to get specific. Okay? So what college do you want to go to? And maybe you're not quite there yet, and so you're still trying to figure that out. But if we're trying to build some SMART goals, we need specifics. So, for example, I want to go to Cornell University. Okay? That's specific, right? When am I going to go to Cornell University? We have to make it measurable. What grade are you in?
10th.
You're in 10th grade, so you've got 2 more years, right? So in 2009 is when you're starting. 2009, I'm going to go to Cornell University. Okay. Now, specific again, how much is that going to cost me? Anyone have any idea? 50? Wow. A little bit less than that. Closer to 40, right.
When we go,
Where what?
when we go, when it's time for us.
Very good point. And what's that? What you're talking about is the future cost. I'm talking about today's cost. It's not going to quite go up $10,000 in 2 years, but if it's 40 today, you're right. The cost of education will inflate, meaning the price is going to rise over the next 2 years, and that's a very, very good point, is you want to consider how much is it going to cost me, not today, but when I'm going. Okay, so now I know specifically I'm going to Cornell. It's costing me $40,000 a year. I'm starting in 2009. So $40,000 a year, how many years is it going to take you to finish up your degree? Hopefully. 4. Okay, so how much money are we looking at if we're talking about 40,000? 160 grand. Okay, so how am I going to save 160 grand in 2 years? Right? That's the next question. Is it attainable? Many of you started any .coms recently that have gone public and made you a fortune so you can pay for this? Okay, so then the question is, Mom, Dad, how much are you going to pay for? Right?